This is Cotard syndrome, a rare and haunting condition where patients deny their own existence. It's a disorder that challenges everything we think we know about the mind, identity, and even the fundamental nature of what it means to be alive. Today, we venture into the depths of one of the strangest disorders in neurology and psychiatry. What causes a person to deny their own existence? By the end of this episode, we'll explore the neurobiological roots of Cotard syndrome, hear the real-life story of someone who lived through it, and discuss what science and medicine tell us about this eerie condition. So meet Michael, a 45-year-old high school teacher. For years, he was known for his humor and energy, the kind of educator students never forgot. But then, something began to change. At first, it was subtle. He started losing interest in his lessons, speaking less in class. His once lively personality dimmed. Colleagues noticed he was distracted, almost detached from everything around him. Michael's world shifted dramatically one morning. He woke up feeling empty. Something inside him felt wrong. He told his wife, "I don't think I'm alive anymore." At first, she laughed, thinking it was a dark joke. But he wasn't smiling. He tried to explain. He felt no heartbeat, no blood moving through his veins. His skin seemed lifeless. His voice sounded distant, like an echo from another world. Michael refused to eat. "Why would a dead man need food?" he said. His wife grew desperate, urging him to see a doctor. But Michael resisted. After all, what could a doctor do for someone who was already dead? Over the following weeks, Michael withdrew completely. His friends stopped hearing from him. He ignored texts and calls. He left his teaching job, unable to see the point of work when, in his mind, he no longer existed. His family watched in horror as his physical health deteriorated. He refused showers, meals, even sleep. Nothing mattered anymore, because in his mind, he was a corpse simply waiting to decay. This wasn't just depression. This was something far more profound. A delusion so deep that it took complete control over his perception of reality. But what could cause someone to believe they are dead? What happens in the brain to make a person completely reject their own existence? Up next, we'll break down the science behind Cotard syndrome, the neurobiology, the psychology, and the mysteries that still remain unanswered. Stay with us. To understand Cotard syndrome, we first need to define it. Cotard syndrome is a rare neuropsychiatric disorder where individuals believe they are dead, non-existent, or have lost their organs or blood. Nihilistic delusion refers to a false belief that a part of oneself or the entire self has ceased to exist. Depressive psychosis is a severe form of depression that includes psychotic features, such as delusions or hallucinations. Anosognosia is a condition where a person is unaware of their illness. In Cotard's, this contributes to the inability to recognize one's own existence. So, what happens in the brain of a person with Cotard syndrome? Right hemisphere dysfunction. The right hemisphere plays a crucial role in self-perception and emotions. Damage to this area has been linked to altered body awareness and self-identity distortions. Limbic system dysregulation. The limbic system governs emotions. When disrupted, it can lead to depressive psychosis. Prefrontal cortex impairment. This area controls decision-making and logic. When compromised, delusional ideation can take hold. Michael's case is not unique. In fact, documented cases in neurology and psychiatry literature show striking similarities. Patients believe they are dead, missing body parts, or non-existent. Some stop eating or drinking, convinced they no longer need sustenance. Many withdraw from society, isolating themselves in fear or resignation. Others develop elaborate explanations to justify their delusions, believing they are trapped in a purgatory-like state. One particularly chilling case involved a woman who, after a severe depressive episode, insisted she had died. She moved to a new country, believing she had entered the afterlife. Imagine the level of disconnection from reality required to uproot your life based on a delusion. She discarded all her belongings, cut ties with family, and sought out a new environment where she could exist as a spirit. Then there's the story of a man who didn't seek medical help to be saved, but rather to confirm what he already believed, that his organs had rotted away. His body was alive, but in his mind, he had already perished. Doctors faced the difficult challenge of proving his own existence to him. MRI scans, physical exams, and even live video recordings of his own actions failed to convince him that he was truly alive. Some patients have even reported a total loss of identity, feeling as though they were mere shadows in a world that no longer recognized them. These cases reveal the fragility of our perception of existence. How can a brain betray itself to such an extent that it denies its own life? Cotard syndrome doesn't exist in isolation. It is often intertwined with other conditions, severe depression, particularly cases with psychotic features where delusions distort reality. Neurological disorders, stroke, traumatic brain injury, and even some infections have been linked to Cotard syndrome. Damage to the parietal and frontal lobes, as well as disruptions in the default mode network, are commonly observed in neuroimaging studies. Schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, Cotard syndrome has been identified in cases of schizophrenia with severe negative symptoms and in manic depressive episodes with psychosis. Dementia and neurodegeneration. Certain cases of Cotard syndrome have emerged in patients with neurodegenerative conditions such as Alzheimer's disease, leading researchers to believe that dysfunction in self-perception networks may play a crucial role. So how do we treat a condition that warps one's very sense of being? Pharmacological interventions, antidepressants and antipsychotics can help stabilize mood and alleviate delusional thinking. SSRIs, atypical antipsychotics, and mood stabilizers are often used in combination, depending on the patient's symptoms. Electroconvulsive therapy, ECT. In severe cases, ECT has shown remarkable success, sometimes restoring a patient's awareness in just a few sessions. The rapid improvement observed in some cases highlights the potential role of neurotransmitter imbalances. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. By challenging distorted thoughts, CBT can help patients rebuild a connection with reality, guiding them back to a grounded sense of self. Patients are encouraged to engage in reality-based activities, such as maintaining a structured routine and re-engaging with social interactions. The treatment of Cotard syndrome is a testament to the power of medical science in reclaiming the mind from its own distortions. However, many cases require long-term intervention, and relapses are possible if underlying conditions are not managed effectively. Cotard syndrome is a rare but profound example of how the mind constructs reality and how that perception can unravel. It stands as one of the most striking examples of disconnection between self-awareness and the external world. It teaches us about the role of brain structures in self-awareness. It shows us the extreme impact of mental illness and neurological dysfunction. And it challenges our ideas of life, death, and consciousness in ways that stretch beyond conventional understanding. These cases reveal the intricate balance between neurology and psychiatry, how an illness can bridge both fields, requiring a multidisciplinary approach to treatment and understanding. Cotard syndrome serves as a crucial reminder that mental health is not just about emotions, but also about the very essence of self-perception and existence itself. Understanding cases like Cotard's not only deepens our knowledge of the brain, but also reminds us how essential mental health care is in preserving a person's connection to their own existence. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Stay curious, keep questioning, and remember, the brain is our most powerful mystery. Until next time,